today I wanted to talk about some big American culture shocks I experienced when I went to America, when I've been to America, and things I've noticed just interacting with my American audience, of whom the majority are usually Irish Americans. Also, hello to my two people in Norway. Maybe they're Norwegian Irish, is that a thing? I cannot wait till I get to travel again and go visit America. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know where is going to be first on my list, but it'll be somewhere. Stating the obvious much, in good news, today's video is sponsored by one of our faves, Surfshark. Surfshark is an app and browser extension that basically lets you place your laptop or phone anywhere in the world and lets you access the internet as if you were in that country. This lets you access and unblock websites and content that you may not usually be able to see. It also lets you add an extra layer of security when it comes to bank details and, those photos and videos you don't want anyone to see. As you know, we've been traveling a lot recently and security is extra important. You know what's also important? Access to 15 different Netflix libraries, because there's never anything to watch. Now you too can spend hours looking for the exact right thing from a choice of thousands. Surfshark, being the sound lads that they are, have given us 83% off with code Diane plus 3 extra months for free. We at the Diane Jennings channel stan a company that stan this channel, so go ahead, support them, and check it out for yourselves. Okay, so some of these are good, some of them are bad, and some of them are somewhere in between. These are just my personal observations. American people and the lifestyle has you guys categorizing things a lot and putting people into defined groups. Okay, the obvious one I'm going to point out is the politics. So people are one or the other, whereas I gotta think a lot of people are actually in between. A lot of you guys have explained to me in comments why you generally have to vote one or the other, because there's generally, as I understand it, not much point to voting for the other parties because it's definitely going to be one or the other, so you just gotta vote one or the other. Another example is how when you have a medical condition, you're labeled as that medical condition. So for example, I'm full of examples today. I have been diagnosed with an anxiety tremor, so sometimes my hand shakes when I feel a little anxious. You might have noticed in videos. And so I say, I have an anxiety tremor. But in America, people would tend to say, I suffer from anxiety. I don't really see it that way. That feels very defined. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm fine. Sometimes my hand shakes and I don't really care. It does have the knock-on effect of making other people around me feel a little bit more anxious. If you want me to talk more about that in another video, I can. Similarly, I find people's jobs define them more so in America, whereas in Europe, we tend to work to live, and in America, you more so live to work.
Only the people in the blue blazers sit over here.
I don't know, maybe it's an idealistic worldview, but I don't think that you can put any human in a box and never in a corner.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Tying into that, I've noticed your lifestyle in America has you go to more extremes. I'm going to use the example of kids in America. Kids in America tend to be grouped by the fact that they have swim moms or dads, football dads, cheer moms, dance moms. Whereas in Europe, the kids are much more like, I'll try a bit of this, I'll try a bit of that. Now, the good thing about American kids is they go on to excel. They become amazing at something. They become world champions. I, of course, understand that a lot of Americans didn't experience that going through childhood, but it's just a phenomenon that we don't really have so much at all here in Europe.
Sound different in Russia.
And a lot of this boils down to the fact that America is so huge. There are so many people. So if you want to excel at something or be the most notorious at something, you gotta go extreme. So extremes in America. The next thing I noticed about American lifestyle is the enthusiasm. Oh my gosh, you actually don't experience that kind of enthusiasm anywhere else in the world. When I was in America, I found myself getting complimented by people more so than ever before. Like people would say, hey, I really like your dress. Or hey, those are nice shoes. And before we get into it, no, those weren't people working on commission. They were just people. Some of them worked on commission. You like to celebrate everything. And if your friend gets something good in their lives, you're all telling them how amazing it is and well done. You guys have whole industries built around your little holidays. Patrick's Day is a way bigger deal in America than it is in Ireland. Sure, of course, we celebrate. It's a national holiday. It's a big deal. You guys take a concept and you embrace it, and you're so enthusiastic about it, and I love that about America. The next thing I noticed in America is that people are not as guarded as they are here in Europe. I've never had so many offers from people as I do in America to show me something or bring me somewhere or invite me to a party. Americans are just really open, which is interesting because as a foreign person, I definitely would have thought that you guys would be a little bit more guarded than we are here in Europe because you have a lot of other things to contend with. For example, if you invite a stranger into your home in America, they could pew pew you. That thing I can't say on YouTube. But I guess in response to that, I'll hear people saying, well, I could also pew pew you because I also have a pew pew in my home. Is anybody understanding what I'm saying at this stage, or has the censorship on YouTube got you going crazy? But I really like that about Americans. You guys are not guarded, you're just very open, generally speaking, and I think that's cool. The next thing that makes life a lot easier for me when I'm in America as a content creator is that you guys embrace filming. You love people filming. Of course, businesses have their own restrictions on things, but generally speaking, if you're walking around with a camera, people are kind of like interested in what you're doing. If I'm doing vox pops with people, there are more than willing people prepared to go on camera and talk. You will not find that in Europe. I used to work for a company doing a lot of vox pops on the street, and getting Irish people to stop and talk to you is near impossible. If you do find somebody prepared to go on camera, they ask you a lot of questions like, where is this going to be distributed? Where can I see it? Americans just tend to jump on camera happily and don't ask really anything. Sometimes they'll ask for a link to the channel, but that's about it. Even with businesses, a lot of times, if it was somewhere that I could call ahead and let them know, they were like, brilliant, promotion for our company. In Ireland, even in Spain, when I've tried to film, a lot of businesses don't understand that it's only really going to be a good thing you filming something positive about their company or their business. It's actually free promotion. And so I feel very welcome to film there and a lot more free to do so. The next thing I've noticed about Americans is your cars are your second home. Now, this goes hand in hand with the fact that a lot of Americans just drive everywhere. So for that reason, in your cars, you have everything. I have never seen as many things as I have seen in the glove box of an American person's car, and also in the boot. Americans keep everything in their cars. They have spare everything. Spare clothes, spare food, spare batteries. Okay, that last one was weak. I couldn't think of a better example. But yeah, an American could easily break down in the middle of nowhere and live in their car for at least 2 days. It wouldn't be a problem for most people. The next thing I noticed about American lifestyle is food on the go. Now, obviously in Europe we eat food on the go sometimes. We'll go to Starbucks or whatever, you might grab something walking around the mall, but more so in America, you just see people walking around and eating. Structured eating is a lot looser in America. And again, going back to the car thing, you guys eat in your cars a lot because you have those drive-thrus. I'm not saying in America people don't sit down and have set meals, and I'm not saying in Europe people do it all the time, but I would just say the balance is definitely different. The next thing I noticed is that in America, there are disclaimers and warnings that go with everything. Okay, famously, you can say the ones about the pharmaceuticals. When they're advertising drugs on the TV, there is like a million disclaimers. And similarly so with a lot of products on American television. But I noticed it in America in like coffee shops. Behind the counter, you'll see things that tell the staff not to make a coffee any hotter than a certain temperature. When I'm staying in a hotel, the window only opens so far, and it says, do not try to open this window anymore. I guess that's for more obvious reasons we can't talk about on YouTube. I find society is more protected by disclaimers and warning labels than it is here in Europe. For example, in the apartment complex that I'm staying in right now, the roofers just climb up on the roof. No hooks, no ties, nothing. They just climb up, fix the roof, and they're done. Al Juan is below with a ladder and down they come. And I know a lot of people are going to say it's about litigation in America, but I'd be interested to know what you think about it in the comments. The next big culture shock that I found in America was something that I knew before going there, but until I was there, I really didn't understand how major it is. The majority of people have never traveled outside of the United States. Some have, but most haven't. So I knew this in theory, but actually in practice, it was very surreal to me. But what I found most interesting about this was how some Americans were unable to put themselves in the shoes of having the outlook of being from another country. And I would say most so this is reflected in the video that I did shooting pew-pews. A lot of people in the comments there said, oh, it's because she's scared of pew-pews. I've said pew-pews a lot in this video. It's not because I'm scared of them, it's the fact that I've never encountered one before in my entire life. It's not the norm in Ireland, it's barely here in Spain except among Guardia and the mob, but I don't hang out with those people too much. I can only give you the analogy of coming across a wild animal for the first time. If you've never encountered it before, never experienced it before, not had that much education about it, you're going to, if you're in any way intelligent, be wary of that in the least because you don't know its capabilities. And the number one huge lifestyle difference in America is the efficiency. Oh my gosh, America is so efficient. Everything you have in America has a system. It's part of something bigger, a larger corporation, bigger infrastructure. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. I can Google it, it will come up. Service is really fast there. Waiters, waitresses, people in shops, they want to please you. They want to be efficient. They want you to get what you came in to get. In America, if I look up the opening times of a store, they're all going to be there on Google. Here in Spain, it's quite bad. If you're looking up the opening times of a store, they'll usually leave the siesta out and then it's just really confusing when you get there and everything's closed. In Ireland, some independent shops don't necessarily have websites. And as for people working in stores and wait staff, a lot of those people in Ireland tend to be college students or young people. It's not so much a vocation as it is in America. So maybe that's why, certainly when I was in college and I worked in stores, I didn't really take that much pride in my work. I definitely wanted to help people, but at the end of the day, I went home and I just didn't care. And that's it for today's video. I hope I gave you a few interesting insights into how the lifestyle is different in America and Europe. Of course, it was full of generalizations. I'm talking about generally speaking. So let me know below in comments if things are different where you're from. I'm really interested to hear. That's it for today. Bye. Say is that hello? Yes? No, I can't play with you right now. I'm actually doing this video, you see, for the people on the YouTube. I'm trying to do a video. Okay, I guess we could do the video like this. That would be totally normal and fine.